The Hayes with you, talking with Jared Weeks, singer with Saving Abel. And Jared, there's a lot of stuff going around on social media. I noticed late yesterday and early today news about you in particular. Maybe you can fill us in on what's going on with you and the band.
Hey, man, thanks for having me here today, Larry. So what's going on with Saving Abel? Well, after about 7, almost 8 years, I'm making my return back to Saving Abel. Jason and I have been in the studio. We have been recording the new Saving Abel album, which will be coming out soon. We're going to be doing an Essentials album that we'll be releasing here soon. We've got our rights back on all of our tunes. We got the rights back from the label, so we're digitally re-recording all of them. We're going to put those out along with 3 unreleased Saving Abel tunes from the past and a single or 2. So we got new music coming. I'm the new/old lead singer. It's really glad to be back on stage with these guys, man.
All right, I guess what people would probably want to know is how you came back or why you came back, and what's up with you returning.
Well, honestly, how the story goes, especially after the isolation year that everybody had, a lot of it happened during then, trying to work on myself. But Jason and I had a band before Saving Abel, and it was called Shade of Grace. Now, during Shade of Grace, it's where we wrote 18 Days. It's where we wrote Drowning Face Down. It's where we wrote Addicted, actually. We wrote all these songs, and then we brought them in the studio and skid and put the band together, and that's how the story about Saving Abel was started. But before all that was Shade of Grace. It was just Jason and I acoustically. And just over the isolation, about halfway through the year, I actually reached out to Jason, and I said, "Hey, do you ever think about those Shade of Grace songs we did?" And of course, his answer was every day, man. And this was right after this was right after Smith and Myers put out their acoustic album, the double disc. And I had listened to that thing so many times. It's such a great album. And then that's what got me thinking. I was like, well, we've got all these great tunes that are 15 to 20 years old. We've got all these tunes. Why not just record them and release them? I mean, what else is going on? We're just sitting here. So of course, once that started, once Jason and I got back in the studio, it just blossomed from there. It's sort of just the universe set everything up and smoothed the transition and all that. And of course, here we are today, working on the next Saving Abel album.
Now, there's a new EP coming out. I read here, Shade of Grace, 20-year songs. It's going to be released Friday. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Friday, yeah. So that's exactly what I was talking about. Once Jason and I got in the studio, we sort of went through these songs that we had. I mean, these songs were so old, and it's so crazy to go back and visit these tunes and remember, who I was, 20 years ago. It was so crazy, man. I had a lot of girl problems, obviously. But, we get in the studio. We picked out 5 of those tunes that we wanted to re-record, and we did just that. And then we wrote a new single called Whatever It Takes. So it's an EP of 6 new songs, and it's more of an acoustic, low-key type, like I said, the Smith and Myers album, which is so good. Mm-hmm. So we kind of put it out on that kind of genre. So it's coming out Friday. It's like, hey, I'm coming back to the band. Here's some new music. So it's Saving Abel, Shade of Grace, 20-year song. That's what we called it.
Okay, now you're talking about new stuff. Are we going to hear some of the same sound that we heard from Saving Abel, or are you trying something new? Or?
No, you're definitely going to hear the same Southern rock and roll that we come from. There's no way that will ever exit my body when it comes to writing music. It's just part of who we are and how it's part of our formula. And that's one of the most comforting things, coming back knowing that things haven't changed. And that's naturally how things come out when Jason and I write songs. So, no, that's something I'm proud of. You're going to get that same crunchy Southern rock and roll with a new modern radio type sound. Hopefully that's what we're going for, and that's what's coming out in the studio. So,
what did the rest of the band think when they heard you were coming back?
I had a lot of sigh of relief. I had a lot of daggum, it's about time, and I had a lot of, I'm on board with that, man. Let's go do it. So everybody was pretty grateful. And like I said, it's been such a smooth transition. I'm pretty grateful for that as well, because there's a lot of moving parts that are in a band, and a lot of things that have to be approved and disapproved, and I feel like we made a lot of the right decisions, and that's just where we are. So it's been smooth so far.
All right, talking with Jared Weeks, the original / new vocalist for Jared Weeks for Saving Abel, excuse me. And again, they got a new EP coming out, Shade of Grace, 20-year songs this Friday. And it's good to have you back with the band, Jared.
Thank you so much, man. I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait to get back out there and see everybody when we get to rocking and rolling, man.
I know I've seen a lot of stuff, as I mentioned in the beginning, on social media, and it looks like a lot of people are happy to have you back out there.
Oh, it's been unreal, man. When we posted today, within 5 minutes alone, I had like 200 comments. And, of course, I'm not used to all that, or I haven't been in a very long time. And I've just been typing my little fingers away all day today.
All right. Well, obviously that means you're doing a good job and people want to see you back, and it's good to have you back, Jared.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate you guys.
All right. That's Jared Weeks back with Saving Abel, and we look for some great new things from those guys. Thanks again, Jared.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, brother.